All right, there we go. We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my fellow comic book collectors. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, We Love Comics. And while I'm waiting for people to come in, I always want to remind people, make sure you sign up for the cashback program. If you haven't, it's free to sign up. Just click on the link in the description, or if you're here watching us live, the link is the second link that I'm showing right now in the live chat. If you click on it, it'll take you to a website where you could sign up for free. That if you spend $25 or more within the first 30 days, you will get a $10 cash back. And if you do that, I also get a one-time fee. So sign up and make sure you take advantage of that cashback program. It can be used for comics and lots of other things. And I also want to remind people that I am still selling some of my graded and ungraded comics. Of course, not all of them, but the ones on the website with the link again in the description or here. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming, whether you're watching this live or you're watching it later. I have a rare comic that I got. This is actually my second of this comic, and I got even a better deal than the first. And this is a modern comic that is pretty darn rare, and if you come across this book, I highly recommend getting this book. And of course, I will tell you the price I paid and what prices are going for this book. So I see people are starting to come in. I always take the first couple of seconds to make sure I wait for people to come in so they could see it. So let's say hello to some of the people that are here. Ben, you are here first. Ben Compton, welcome. White Nova's here. Sith Lord, good to see you again. Chris is here. Love the first name. Michael, Nigel, Russ, Joey says finally made it to a live show. Well, welcome. Paul says hello from the UK. How am I finding Florida? I absolutely love it. Wish I would have done this years ago, but as they say, better late than never. So thank you for asking. The Invincible Quest is here. Brian is here, says hello. Comic Lover, Batman's cousin. Well, that's a new one. I haven't seen you before. Welcome. Matt, welcome. Let me post the link one more time. I do that to help because we did just recently move and want to make sure we can stay here for a long, long time. So let me put on the video camera. Otherwise, you're just going to hear my voice and not see what I'm talking about. And this is a little bit better than the package that I unboxed, quote-unquote, unboxed the other day. But this is definitely a book. Like I said, it's a modern book. This is something I actually had a problem with what somebody did as far as a video, but then again, there's a difference between making fun of a video, you know, doing a poorly tasted video that, you know, was not really appropriate, to actually doing something in real life. So I can't condone, you know, bad things, but I mean, if it's a joke, yeah, it's in bad taste, but better a joke than somebody doing it in real life. So that's why I kind of changed my mind a little bit about it, you know, and that happens. Sometimes people can change their mind. So, you know, if you've been a person that lived your whole life, that every single decision you've made, you've never had to change, well then, you're definitely not from this planet. So, those things can happen. So they did package this pretty darn well. This is a book I highly recommend. I will explain why. As far as the print run, you know, if you collected like me in the 90s, the average print run on a comic was 2 to 3 million. When the comic crash happened, that print run dramatically dropped, and nowadays, if you have a print run of 200,000 to 300,000, that's considered a really good sales, amount of sales. So it's not even touching by the 90s. Now, this comic is a modern comic, and they did very well. I'm very happy about this wrapping. From what I understand, there is approximately 50 of these or less in existence. Now, make no mistake, there are a lot of rare comics out there, but a rare comic does not guarantee that it is valuable. So you want to make sure that not only is something rare, but it's something desirable and something valuable. Because you can have, you know, a rare piece of paper, and if nobody wants it, you know, it doesn't help you. Alright, so they were nice enough to actually throw in a comic. Now, this is pretty cool. This is actually a San Diego Comic-Con variant. So they sent me a Rick and Morty number 28. And this is the San Diego Comic-Con variant. So they sent that for free. That's pretty darn cool. And there we go. So that's not the book. But let me look at this, and this looks pretty darn good. I already have one of these. I have it signed. It actually came back a 9.6. I'd have to check the whole book, but this looks pretty darn nice. So this is the book that you want. Now make sure that you stay until the end, because I always do a surprise subscriber shout out. Now you don't have to be a subscriber to get that, because obviously there's really no way to check, so we're going by the honor system. But definitely, if you could share these videos, it really helps. So here is the book. All right, let me put on my video camera with me so I can make sure it's centered. And this is a book I highly recommend if you can get it. And wait until you hear the price I got for this. This is, like I said, I had one of these a couple of months ago, just recently got this one graded. It was signed by Justin Roiland, and it came back at 9.6. But this is Rick and Morty #1, Pocket Like You Stole It. Now this is, let me see where it is. Does it say it on here? Okay. Right down here, you'll see it says presented by Nerd Block. So this is the Nerd Block variant. Now what is so special about this? Well, this comic was ordered by a company called Nerd Block, and they went out of business. So this book got recalled, and only a few of these made it out to the public. So this is, like they say, about 50 of these or less, and I happen to have 2 of these. Now, a 0.5 of this, which obviously probably doesn't exist because it is a new book, a 0.5 of this is valued at around $500. I didn't pay $500, didn't pay $400, didn't pay $300. Now, this was not a buy it now. This was an auction. So many people may not know about this book. So make sure you get a good close look at this book. You know, the eyeballs and the faces that make kind of like a pearl necklace. That's the easiest way to kind of determine this one. But of course, at the bottom, like it says, presented by Nerd Block. So if you can get this, it is one of the rarest Rick and Morty books out there. And with shipping and handling, I only paid $260.99 for this book. This in a 9.8 is around an $800 to $900 book. And what's also significant is the fact that Rick and Morty Season 4 is coming out next month, and they are guaranteed another 7 seasons until they have to renegotiate. So these are only going to get more and more popular, you know, of course, provided that the show does well, and so far so good. And the fact that now they don't have to worry about doing another negotiation for at least another 7 years, depending on how many episodes they end up doing, could go as long as 10. This is going to establish it, make it a lot shorter delay in between seasons, and it's going to become more and more desirable. So again, this is my second copy of this book. The one that I got was signed, and I paid about $369 for that one. So I got this one for $260, so a little bit more than $100 less. And again, if you look this up on GoCollect.com, they rate a 0.5 valued at $500. So I paid about half of what this would be at a 0.5. And this looks like, again, I have to open it up, and I always recommend, don't assume by looking at the front cover that you could say, oh, this is a 9.8. I've seen so many people do that. I do not understand it, because they don't grade a book just solely based on the cover. Got to check the back, got to check the insides, got to check the staples, things like that. But so far, this has potential of a 9.6 to 9.8, but I will check the book, and this one will be sent out to be graded. So again, that is about 50 of those in existence. Of course, they don't have an exact number of how many actually slipped through. If you're one of the lucky ones to own that, put it out there. Let us know how much you paid. Don't be bashful if you overpaid or underpaid, because, you know, depending on where this book ends up, you know, if you spent $700 on that book and in 5 years it becomes a $1,000 book, yeah, you might not have had as much profit now, but don't base investments on this moment. Base it on the future. The biggest problem most people have is they're afraid to pounce on a lot of books because they look at the current prices and say, well, it's not really where I want it to be. Well, by the time that happens, you now have to spend more money to get the book. So does that make sense to anybody to do if you're doing it for investment purposes? And even if you're not, if you're one of the people that just absolutely loves comics just to read them, well, why spend more when you don't have to? So the longer you wait sometimes, the more you're going to end up paying, especially for books like X-Men, Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, Wolverine, characters like that that are going to be on the up and up. So don't base it on what the prices are now. Like, for example, if you see a Fantastic Four number 48, whatever grade, let's say the grade is valued at $800, and you see it for $750, and you're like, well, you know, that's only $50 less than what it's valued as. But that's right now. You know that once Fantastic Four comes out, that book's going up, and once Silver Surfer comes out, that book's going up, and when Galactus comes out, that book is going up. So you want to base things on where is it going to be in the future. And that's one of the reasons why I tell people to be very cautious about newer books, because you'll see them skyrocket really quick because everybody's going to be like, oh, this is the next big thing, the next Superman or the next Spider-Man or the next Wonder Woman. And it goes from a $3.99 book to a $50 book overnight, and then 2 weeks later, it's now a $10 book that nobody wants. So, yes, this is a modern book, but because of the fact that the TV show is extremely popular, they just signed a contract to extend it to about 7 more seasons. Again, it depends on how many episodes they do, so that may vary. It could be longer, it could be shorter, but at least you know you're going to get a couple of years of Rick and Morty, which means probably not going to be another 2.5 year gap in between seasons. And these are only going to get more and more desirable. So this has upward potential. So if you're an investor, that's what you want. You don't want something that where you're buying it at its peak. If this was purchased by the time season 10 rolls around, I would be cautious about paying high prices. But again, if you can get it like me and snipe it for a price that's way below what it's valued as, because I spent probably about 25% of what this value is valued as. Because like I said, at a 0.5, they say this is about a $500 book. Now, of course, that's graded, but I'm going to get this graded anyway, and that's graded by CGC. But even still, I know in a couple of years, if I hold on to this and I grade it, let's say it comes out a 9.4 to a 9.8, a 9.8 is going to get me some big cash, but let's say 9.4 to 9.6, I am definitely going to make my money back on this book, and that's what you want if you're doing it for investments. And seeing how many people look at my videos about investments, you can definitely tell that's what most people want, or at least are curious about. So if you're one of those people and you appreciate these kind of videos, you know, if you could be kind enough to take the time and hit that like button, even if you're watching this on your PlayStation or Xbox, you still have the ability to do that. Sharing them, placing in your favorites, posting in your social networks. If you appreciate the advice and you think my advice is helpful, well, if you can help share my channel to other people to help them as well, it's only going to get more people to start investing more wisely. Because that's what you want. Don't buy the flavor of the month unless you know something's going to come out of it. Because, I mean, look at, for example, all the Image books that come out. Almost a week after they come out, they are almost all given TV shows or movie deals. But how many of them have seen the light of day? And that's where we have to be careful. So, lessons learned. Learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make them. So once again, I'm going to post the link in the description. Please sign up for the cashback program. It's free to do. If you buy comics or anything online, they have hundreds of stores where if you activate it before you purchase it, you get cash back. If you spend $25 or more within the first 90 days of signing up, you get a $10 cashback bonus, and I get a one-time fee. So I don't get the one-time fee if you just sign up. If you use it, I get the one-time fee, so that helps me out. It's a referral fee, and I want to make sure people know about that. So if you want to help my channel, you're helping yourself in the process. And also, the first link that you see, the Square Up link, that'll take you to my website. I sell the mystery comic boxes. I have some graded and ungraded comics that are still up there. Some very key issue books. Get them while you can. And let's do today's surprise subscriber shout-out. Let's randomly pick somebody. And again, if you hit subscribe, you have a better chance, especially with my regular videos. But like I said, I don't check, so I'm going by your word. So since you just got in, we're going to go to Hillside Vang Bronze Age. Says, good morning, better late than never. So it's good that you came even now because you got today's surprise subscriber shout out. So if you're one of my power viewers or ultra power viewers, or even just somebody that watches on occasion, every now and then a little bit of a video, and you see who's today's surprise subscriber shout out, put it in the comment section, because I promise you, a lot of people actually appreciate seeing their name up there, and I want to do that for people as a thank you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Your thumbs up will show me. Again, this is Rick and Morty, Pocket Like You Stole It. This is the Nerd Block edition. This is a book that if you see it, pounce on this book. It has so much potential, and you can't say that too often about modern books. Again, I paid $260.99. That is with shipping, and that's the book for the day. So, of course, I will have more videos coming soon, so stick around, hit the notification bell, so this way you can get notifications. And do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it's We Love Comics and Comic Addiction. Like you say, sorry he's late, that's okay, you're here, that's all that matters. And now you get to say goodbye to everybody. Have a good day, everybody. I'll see you next video. Peace.